Peace, it's Equality Fragrances coming to you from PG County, Maryland. Welcome to my cipher. A cipher is a person, place, or thing within my circumference. The understanding of my cipher is peace. For all those new to the channel and all those who have been supporting me since day one, I humbly appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when I drop some new videos. Share the video. Your shares helps the channel grow. And if you have any questions, don't forget to follow me on IG. The inbox in IG is the best way to get me, because sometimes after a period of time when you leave comments on the video, sometimes I just don't get those alerts depending on how many comments I get. So I try to respond to everybody because I know what it's like to respond on somebody's video and they absolutely ignore your comment. So with that being said, come on in, sit down, and let's build. Today, I'll be giving you my top 10 romantic fragrances for Valentine's Day 2021. Now, I have a caveat I want to tell people before people comment and ask me, well, where is this and where is that? Listen, I've always told you fragrances are not only situational, but they're mood-based. So some of these fragrances I'm going to name might not be my top 10 fragrances within my entire collection. It's a mood. Valentine is a mood. It is romantic. And this is basically the short list of what I will choose for 2021. So it's not, what do I think about romantic Valentine's Day fragrances? It's probably gonna have some chocolate in there, probably some rose or some kind of floral. That's kind of how I see it. So you're not gonna see any ambers in this fragrance. Not saying that if you went out on a date on Valentine's Day and you wore amber or amber absolute or Persepolis that you would be wrong. I just wouldn't choose it for me. That's my choice. Doesn't mean my top 10 is better than yours. Doesn't mean it's less than yours. This is just my choice. So I just want to put that out there because I've had some comments in the past where people seem offended. Oh, you only like it costs too much. Listen, this is my list. This is my choice. These are fragrances I paid for. None of them were sent to me. I'm not sponsored. And this is just my list. So with that being said, let's start off the show with 2 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1 comes from the House of Mancera. You cannot do a Valentine's Day list without having this fragrance on it unless you do not own the fragrance. And that's Roses and Chocolate. Now, this fragrance, what does it smell like? It smells like roses and chocolates. What kind of rose? Because rose could be jammy, it could be overly green. This rose smells very fresh, light, almost airy, a little green. It smells like you walked into a shop that sells nothing but roses and you just smelled the air, what it smells like when you walk into a shop that sells florals and a lot of roses. That's what I get here. And the chocolate is not like a very harsh or strong dark chocolate. It's more like chocolate powder, just little chocolates in the air, and it's little creamy, and that's smoothed out by the vanilla in this. A solid fragrance. It leans more feminine than it does masculine or unisex. This kind of leans more on the feminine side, but a beautiful romantic fragrance. The only time I really reach for this is Valentine's Day. If you're a woman, this can be a winter everyday wear. It's soft enough even to wear to work if that's something you want to do. Very romantic scent. Honorable mention number 1, Roses and Chocolate from Mancera. Honorable mention number 2 is a 10 out of 10 fragrance. Again, I love this fragrance as an overall fragrance, but it's on my short list to choose what I'm going to wear for Valentine's Day 2021. It is one of my favorite rose oud combinations. The only one that comes close to this for me is Oud Esfahan by Dior, and that's Xerjoff More Than Words. I like this way better than Oud Satin Mood. I just do, and I own it. This is fruity, floral, ambery oud. For those who might just be coming on here and like, oud, I heard of it, I heard it's a little stanky. It's not. It's really a really nice, woody, wearable oud. It's a lot of different fruits in here. On top the rose, so it makes the rose a little jammy. This is ambery. It's a little woody. A beautiful scent that performs like a champ. You don't need a lot of sprays with this. This can be a room filler. You're going to get 10 plus hours, a beast mode of a fragrance. Coming in honorable mention number 2, that's from Xerjoff, and that's More Than Words. Coming in at number 10 comes from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. That is Cabana. This was love at first sniff for me. Outstanding sandalwood fragrance. This is why I don't listen to fragrance pyramids. Anybody trying to describe this fragrance to you, talking about a fragrance pyramid, is just reading notes off to you, because sandalwood is in this from the beginning to the end. It's considered a base scent, but it's there from beginning to the end, along with the tonka bean. You start getting some resins like frankincense in here. It has a floral, almost rosy nuance, but this isn't rose in here. The next fragrance is going to be a rose sandalwood fragrance. This isn't rose, but it's pink pepper, and pink pepper does give off a rosy, almost a bright, aromatic, almost rosy nuance. That's what I get from pink pepper, how I would describe it, and that's what you get here. A great scent, love at first sniff, good sillage, good performance. It's not a room filler, but it doesn't need to be for a romantic situation. That's number 10 for YSL Cabana. Coming in at number 9 is an absolute romantic, stunning fragrance. That's from the house of Serge Lutens, and that's Santal Majescule. Now, this is rose, chocolate, and sandalwood. It's fairly linear, but this is just so romantic. The sandalwood is woody and creamy. A beautiful, bright, blooming rose. I mean, absolutely to die for. And the chocolate is it's more of a cacao, like a powdered kind of chocolate. Chocolate and rose. Can you go wrong and choose anything else when it comes to a romantic scent? I think not. Coming in at number 9, Santal Majescule by Serge Lutens. Coming in at number 8 is a controversial scent. At least as of late in Fragcom, I think it's absolutely funny. And that comes from the house of Guerlain, and that's Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. Now, this scent, the reason I like this scent is for several reasons, and I like it over the original. One, the original only get about 5 hours. With this, I'm getting 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours on that. That's over 50% increase. To me, that's an extreme. They added rose in here, and to me, the rose makes this extremely romantic. It's not, what kind of rose is it? It's not a jammy rose. It's like a sugar rose. Like if you had a cake and they have that sugary rose thing on top, and it smells rosy, but it tastes a little, I'm not gonna say bittery tart. It's more like powdered, more like crystallized sugar. That's the kind of rose nuance I get in here. The marshmallow makes this so creamy. The orange blossom. Everything about this is absolutely romantic. Now, would I prefer for my lady to wear this than me? Yeah, absolutely. I think it leans feminine. If you see gender in fragrances. But do I wear this? Absolutely. Does it smell good when I wear this? Absolutely. Perfect for a date night scent. Coming in at number 8, that's Love Don't Be Shy. Love Don't Be Shy Extreme from Guerlain. Number 7 is a good one. This is coming from the house of Tiziana Terenzi, and that's papora. What does this smell like? Let's just be honest. Tiziana Terenzi has a knack for making fragrances that smell like other fragrances. It is what it is. If they see this and they get offended, so be it. I don't get free bottles anyway, and I don't care. But this is extremely close to Frederick Maull's Portrait of a Lady, with a slightly different nuance to it. This has chestnut or hazelnut or chestnuts in the base of this. This is basically rose, patchouli, incense, has raspberry, so it makes the rose almost a little jammy. But this is a really masculine rose. This isn't grandma's rose. This is absolutely masculine. The presentation, absolutely stunning. Attention to detail. A beautiful scent. If you have Portrait of a Lady, I would put that in the same number as this. Overall, no complaints from this fragrance. Great longevity, great performance. This is a statement maker. This fragrance is bold. If you wear this, you're going to get attention. Positive or negative, more positive than negative, but you will draw attention. The rose is almost dark, like a gothic rose. Great scent. Number 7, Papora by Tiziana Terenzi. Coming in number 6 is another just 10 out of 10 fragrance. I would almost consider this a masterpiece. I absolutely love this fragrance, and that's from the house of Dior, and that's Dior Homme Parfum. Now, this scent carries, it absolutely performs. What are you getting? You're getting iris, leather, rose, sandalwood, I believe some musk mallow. This is extremely woody, creamy, leather, beautiful rose, lipsticky, powdery, iris. This is just stunning. It carries through the air. The scent trail is amazing. A perfect date night scent. It leans more masculine than it does feminine, but all fragrances are unisex. Wear what you want to wear. I love at first sniff. I love this fragrance. So coming in at number 6, and that's Dior Homme Parfum. Coming in number 5 is a personal favorite fragrance of mine. It's gonna always be on my list, and that's just a sentimental thing for me. That comes from the house of Dior, and that's Ombre Nuit. This fragrance is just, what you get is ambergris to me. I don't really get amber, although amber's listed. I get ambergris, and I'll tell you why. You're gonna get rose, pink pepper. You get some citruses, but that's long overdue. There's no point even discussing those. Just pink pepper, rose, and ambergris is what I get. This is a little woody, a little salty, very warm fragrance. The reason why I say it's ambergris, because something that's heavy in ambergris, I generally go a little nose blind to, and it comes off as if it's not performing. Around 4 hours, I feel like I don't really smell this no more. Around 4 or 5 hours. I've been complimented 7 hours later wearing this. Call it what it is. It's not a room filler. It's more of a sillage monster. More of a fragrance that if somebody's in your vicinity, they'll smell it. It's not somebody gonna smell you across the room, but for a romantic scent, I don't want it to be that loud personally. And that's number 5, Ombre Nuit from Dior. Coming in number 4 is a outstanding fragrance, a date night fragrance. My guy over at Cuba knows, introduces to Fragcom. Give that man credit where credit is due. That's from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, and that's Tuxedo. My goodness. Rose and patchouli. A little spicy and peppery with black pepper, coriander, violet leaf is in there. Just gives it a little bit of wetness. There's a slight ambery undertone that's coming from the ambergris, the same kind of ambery undertone I get from Ombre Nuit, which I described before this. And bourbon vanilla, it has a booziness to this fragrance. A gorgeous scent, great date night, will make a lot of lists, period, hands down. If you want a good alternative to this, because you don't want to spend $200+ on this fragrance, Roche's Moustache can be found for like $40. It smells close. It's close enough though for most people. I own it. It's close enough. A good alternative, but I like this. Just is what it is. Yeah, masterpiece. Tuxedo at number 4. Coming in number 3 is an extremely popular composition. I recently reviewed one of these fragrances, and I said every time I discuss this fragrance, I would discuss this fragrance so viewers knew that there's a more affordable option to have. And one is coming from the house of Gerjoff, and it's a Harvey Nichols exclusive, and that's Cambridge Club. The other one is Montal's Intense Cafe. These are identical. You only want to convince yourself they're different if you did like I did and you paid for this and you feel like a schmuck, because this is going to cost you $3 something. This is going to cost you around $60-$70. They're identical. What you get here is some rose, vanilla, coffee, and neither has it listed, but I'm getting saffron in the composition because it's something spicy about the composition. It smells like saffron. Outstanding performing fragrances, beast mode of fragrances. I'm getting a good 10+ hours on these. They perform. Sillage is amazing. Nobody who smells this is not going to like either one of these, but based on your pocketbooks and how you collect, you choose which one you want. Get both. I would say that's crazy. yeah, it's crazy. Or, you know, if you're a Xerjoff collector and you only collect Xerjoffs, then get this. I mean, pay more for this. It is what it is. And that's coming in at number 3. That's Cambridge Club and Montal's Intense Cafe. Coming in number 2 is another sexy, seductive, intoxicating scent. I told y'all, if you watch my video previous to this that I dropped, I told you it was going to be on this list. This smells like a luxury gourmet chocolate store. This is coming from the house of Guerlain, and that's Gourmand Conquin. All right, couple things. It's not a room filler. Don't expect it to be. Pretty good sillage. You can go a little heavy on this. It wears relatively light, but I get good longevity on it, you know, as a skin scent kind of fragrance. Perfect if you want to be romantic. Just a spicy rose. I feel like I'm getting a lot of cinnamon in this, some vanilla. It's almost that boozy vanilla, like you almost getting Spiritualese double vanille, and then add some fruitiness to the composition, which is probably coming from the rum accord. That makes the rose jammy, but not overly jammy. Some powder, some cocoa powder, and some dark chocolate, like a sorted box of chocolates with like chocolates and cherries. Oh my God. Outstanding gourmand scent. Where does it rank in my favorite gourmands? I don't know yet. I'll be doing that list coming up soon. Just my overall favorite gourmands. It's going to be a hell of a list. Anyway, number 2. Absolutely romantic, coming from the house of Guerlain. That's Gourmand Conquin. Coming in at number 1, my most romantic fragrance for Valentine's Day 2020, and one of the most romantic fragrances I have within my collection. Comes from the house of Rosendo Matteo, and that's number 5. This is absolutely stunning. Everything about this screams romance. It's amber, but it's a vanillic amber, slightly resinous. It's floral and it's musky. The way it simmers through the air, a perfect unisex scent. The way it just it goes through the air, so it's like it's dense, but not dense. An outstanding, remarkable fragrance. It's very hard to find. You might have to go on eBay to find it. You cannot, and I mean cannot go wrong, man or woman, with this composition. There's nothing else I need to say about this outside of a full review of it. But if you have not tried this, you need to try it. This, and I don't recommend blind buys, to be honest. I tell you, sample everything. This is really blind buy worthy. It truly is. Love at first sniff. I've had this for a minute. I think I got this the beginning of 2020, I believe, almost a year ago. Loved it ever since. Everything about it is a perfect fragrance. So coming in number 1 is Rosendo Matteo, number 5. So that was my top 10 romantic fragrances for Valentine's Day 2021. That's my list. Again, doesn't mean that if your favorite fragrance ain't on here that I think it sucked. This is just what I want to choose at this particular list. These aren't even really, if I looked at it, my favorite fragrances within my collection. But fragrance is situational and fragrance is a mood. And for Valentine's Day, these 10 are the moods I'm feeling. I could have easily made a top 30. I could have made a top 50 actually, but I'm just not going to do that. It's too much work. I'm not about to do that. Anyway, I hope you like the list. I hope you see some of your favorites. If you don't, sample some of these fragrances and see if they work out for you. These are all unisex. Check them out. Women, don't shy away from these. With that being said, thank you for taking the time out your day to support me. I'm going to leave you the way I greeted you, and that's in universal language of peace.